Hello everyone, good morning, happy National Day. Can you see and hear me? If you can you type yes in the chat box? Thank you, Yvonne. Thank you, Esther. Loud and clear, right? Okay. Yeah. So I haven't been doing webinars for quite some time. I've always been doing YouTube videos. But this one is a bit of, since it's SG60, and then just nice, MES has this 5 billion support and things like that. So I figured that a lot of people want to know more about Singapore stocks, which I have always been investing in. So I think that it's a good time, and I chose today because after that I have some other things to do. But morning we just come in and share some knowledge, lah. Right. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, it's already 8:07. Okay, so we have a lot to cover today. I'm not just going to share with you three Singapore stocks that I'm looking at or my high conviction stocks, but I'm also going to go through the three fund managers that MES has chosen, okay, and their strategy and what are the stocks that they may look at and things like that. Okay, so without further ado, let's dive straight in. Okay, so today's agenda, very simple. First of all, cover why MES 5 billion is a game changer. All of us know that Singapore equities have been going down, spiraling down for very long already. So even my website, things like that, when I try to cover Singapore stocks, not a lot of people are interested. Most of them went to US stocks, right? Even my close investor group community, most of them have went to US stocks. I'm just like one of the few that continue investing in the Singapore market. But then I feel that this one is really once in a generation kind of catalyst lah, at least for Singapore market. And MES is prioritizing on the small and mid cap stocks, which I'll share with you a bit later on why the smart money is coming in and what are the advantages when you go for these small and mid cap stocks. None of them are very risky, like below 10 cent kind of thing. There are quite a few fundamentally strong ones. Okay, so which we will cover on later. And like what I said, the three asset manager strategies, okay, Avanda, JP Morgan, Fullerton, okay, what are they targeting? My three top high conviction picks and the free gifts, okay, the bonuses at the end of the webinar. Okay, so let's get things started. Okay, so the MES 5 billion catalyst, okay, so right now, if you have watched the news, MES has only allocated 1.1 billion, okay, Sing dollars to three asset managers. And so we have still 3.9 billion left, right, out of the 5 billion. And this is a big thing because 1.1 billion is not just 1.1 billion. When they invest in the asset manager, right, they want them to co-invest as well. That means like the actual terms is not disclosed. That means like, for example, maybe I park 1.1 billion to the three asset managers. You have to come up with another 1.1 if it's a 1-to-1 ratio or even more. I presume that it would be even more because it doesn't make sense, right? That I give you money for free to invest. Then might as well I invest in myself, right? So it's already been disclosed that it's co-investment, okay, but we are not sure what the fund managers will cough out to match the MES funding. All right. And why is such a big deal? Okay, so because I've been analyzing the Singapore market for I think more than 20 years since army days. And this is really unprecedented. Okay. All along, the government is like, oh, I only invest through GIC or Temasek and let the Singapore market, free market they call it, just let it do their own things. And then as we all know, right, a lot of delistings, a lot of takeovers also they are also done at a very low price, and so things just go haywire. But then they decided to really take action this time round. Okay, 5 billion co-investment. So it is a deliberate move lah, by the government to revitalize our Singapore market. And at the same time, right, I believe that this will create a sustainable ecosystem. Okay, so why do I say that? Because if you look at the news, right? So one of it is they pick the asset managers. They have to come in with extra funds, so they will like, boost the market together. On top of that, like, investor protection or easy, grants for listing, and a lot of measures that show other companies that, okay, Singapore market is vibrant, is we are taking action and things like that. And if you have seen SGX announcement yesterday, I think they released their results yesterday. Their results were not fantastically good, but one thing that caught a lot of people's attention is the mentioning of 50 IPOs coming up. 50, 50. We haven't seen IPOs that number coming in a year already, not even like in a few years. So they are mentioning that there will be an upcoming 50 IPOs coming to SGX. So this is something that I believe we are in a bull market. Like what Maybank, there's one analyst saying, even though you see STI, right, we have crossed 4,000 mark, but right now it's trading at around 4,200. It is still not the peak yet. We are still in a baby bull, okay, baby bull market. We are at the beginning, and you're joining this webinar, right? You are already at a head start of most of people who are looking to invest in Singapore stocks, okay. And the last point is that, okay, MES will allocate 50 million to enhance equity research and listing support through the GEM scheme, okay, extending it to 2028. Okay, why is this such a big deal, right? If you are in the market like me, okay, because I've been talking to a few different partners, uh, predominantly research houses lah. They are tapping on this GEM scheme, right, to do research report. Okay, and the research report is actually funded by the government. So like you do one research report, the analyst report that we all see, right? They get 4,000. If initiation, you get one more thousand. If it's IPO, you get one more thousand. So you get 6,000 to just cover IPO. One report, 6,000. And on top of that, okay, they have this KOL kind of online distribution scheme, which I am actively participating in. So I cannot disclose more details, but this is something that, we all know that this is going to massively increase the media coverage, the exposure to a lot of Singapore stocks. So this is just the beginning. I'm telling you, this is just the beginning. They are all going to massively increase the number of analyst reports from maybe just 10 or 20 to 80 in the coming years, every year, every single year going forward. So this is really a big deal because imagine 10 research houses all covering like maybe one Marco Polo Marine or one food empire. Suddenly you get so much coverage, you get so much news and all that. So it will sort of like move the market. Okay. So this is not just a 5 billion catalyst, it is actually the thing that catalyze everything. Okay, so let me see. You all have any questions? If you have any questions, can just type it inside the chat box. Later on, after the end of the webinar, I will go through them together. Okay. Pardon this layout. This is actually my family's, my daughter's desk, and I'm using my wife's desk. Okay, actually my table is at the other corner, but I don't want to disturb them. All right, so coming back to the presentation, why specifically small and mid-cap stocks, right? Because of these three things lah. One is institutional attention. So large caps like those CICT, Singtel, DBS, already well known and invested by the institutions. So the real opportunity here lies in the small and mid-cap stocks, which will receive the capital inflows as well as fresh attention. So maybe last time you don't see all these small and mid cap stocks, but with the media coverage, with more fund managers pumping in money, imagine like one day maybe Citrum will go up 10%, 20%. Then it becomes like US, right? Wow, very volatile, very vibrant, and people will start taking notice. Okay, so this is the institutional impact as well as the liquidity boost. What does it mean by liquidity boost, right? All along, a lot of people say, oh, small and mid-cap stocks are very illiquid. You go in, you cannot come out, no volume and things like that. So if more funds start to come in, right, they start to also trigger this trading volume, narrow the bid-ask spreads and the kind of thing. So it's a concurrent kind of a thing when big money or smart money starts to come in. And yeah, like I mentioned, analyst coverage. So this is creating like a virtuous cycle for price discovery, especially on hidden gems like all the small and mid cap stocks. Okay, so now we go to the three asset managers. So I hope to end this by 9 o'clock so we can go party later. I pull these news articles out from the Edge, okay, and I specifically highlighted what they are looking at. Okay, so for this Avanda Asset Management, if you have seen this guy, I believe actually when I saw this article, right, I test my wife, hey, do you know who this is or not? He said, then she told me very familiar, but I don't know who is it. So basically, this is the during the president election, he's one of the candidates, okay, and he is actually a very esteemed fund manager. Okay, if you go and check out him and you know his history, he is a very accomplished one. All right, and true enough, he wants to bring up Singapore market again. So they have a mandate, right? Strong focus on small and mid cap space off benchmark stocks. That means this is right where I am more focused on. So I also look at off benchmark. That means I don't really look at companies like Singtel or CICT. I look at those people will not look at the stocks, the hidden gems that people might tend to miss out on. There is no real attention to it, like Banyan Tree, like Marco Polo Marine, the kind of stocks. Okay, and Avanda has three teams going forward. Okay, once their asset, the fund is up and running. So first one is value up. Value up stands for, if you go check the definition, right? It means that there is value and there is a catalyst. Okay, the up meaning a catalyst. So one very good example is interest rates. So if you were to see what they say, right? If interest rate starts to come down, okay, there is a catalyst for the value to be unlocked. So this is what they are talking about, value up. Local champions means those companies that are so-called market leaders in our local market. Okay, like for example, um, in Singapore, the champion of telecom is maybe Singtel. Okay, but again, this is going to small and mid-cap space. So you have to combine them together. All right, and then finally turn around. Okay, turn around can be a lot of things lah. It may even be those things like the companies that a lot of people have not taken a look at, like for example maybe Sets Group or Citrum neglected already, then now they're turning around. Okay, and they are targeting 8 to 10% returns a year, which is pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good, 8 to 10% a year. And if you want to get this kind of returns, right, it is highly unlikely that they will also invest in boring blue chip stocks. They will go for more off the benchmark mid cap stocks that have potential growth, right? And one of the question that he also mentioned is, will the company continue to do well in 3 to 5 years time? So he's not just looking at trading, right? Buy in then sell out the next year. He's looking at companies that he's having a time horizon of 3 to 5 years lah. So basically, if you invest in any stocks that you want to match their strategy, right, you would want to follow this kind of small and mid cap space, hidden gems, value up, local champions, turnarounds, and will do well in 3 to 5 years time. Okay, so luckily for y'all, I already put it all here with a few stocks that come to mind. Okay, so value up, okay, catalyst, spin-off potential, active buybacks. So we have SingPost, okay, so SingPost, they recently sold the properties to the who if I'm not wrong, is Kim Lee, founder, right? Yeah, so unlocking the value, CSE Global, okay, um, very active recently with the order book. Local champions, okay, local champions. We have PropNex, more than 50% market share, asset light model. If you take a look at all the property launches recently, my wife also tell me keep looking at properties. Wow, Springleaf lah, whatever Lentor, PropNex will get a big chunk of it, right? Okay, no need to mention too much lah. AEM Holdings also like the leading tester in Singapore. Food Empire is dominant in the European markets, so they are the market leaders with economic modes. Turnarounds, okay, improving fundamentals and catalysts. Citrum, like I mentioned. We also have Raffles Medical, okay. Raffles Medical, if you haven't been paying notice, right, they have actually their earnings have come down in the past 2 to 3 years or even 4 years, because of their China market expansion. When they set up 3 hospitals in China, naturally you will have losses, you will have startup costs, right? And that's why they pull down the earnings. But it is starting to turn around. Okay, if you go and read recently, they are very very close to being profitable again in the China hospitals, and there may be instances where they're gonna increase the dividends when the earnings start to go up again. Okay, so this is part of a turnaround story lah, if you were to ask me. Okay, also Olam Group. Okay, they are looking to really spin off that um, Olam Agri, or something like that, right? Demerger lah, to catalyze, to crystallize the hidden value. Okay, so these are the 3 teams for Avanda Asset Management. Right, so let's move on. Yeah, no question. Let me drink a sip of water. Okay, moving on. Wow, 8:25 already. Okay, JP Morgan Asset Management. The second fund, okay, major allocation to small and mid cap Singapore stocks. Again, this one even more specific. They told us that they're gonna emphasize on stocks with high dividend use. High dividend yield, if you think about it, right, at least maybe like at least 4%, or dividend growth that is quite robust. Sectors like REITs, telecommunications, consumer and financial services. Okay, I already highlighted for you. So these 4 sectors that is broadly mentioned in her strategy. Okay, and so basically their strategy is very simple. Small and mid-cap stocks address income needs of local investors. The stocks that fulfill these criteria, we have REITs, okay, like Fraser Centrepoint Trust, more than 5.5% yield. CapitaLand Escort Trust, more than 6%. Lendlease REIT, recently they announced that they sell off the office tower, right, in GEM. So what would they do with the money? Maybe they lower down the debt and they want to take advantage of lower interest rates to purchase something else, right? And what would they purchase? Just my guess, right? My guess is they're gonna take a bigger stake in Parkway Parade, and I have do some channel checks lah with my friends. They always go down to the Parkway Parade shopping mall, right, is really bustling. Um, they are more like mid to high end tier, so a lot of people tend to shop around there. Um, and recently there are a lot of developments like MRT and all that, right? So if I were to, have the funds, like land lease REIT, right, I would think that I would, buy a bigger stake lah in Parkway Parade. They haven't announced anything. I don't want to also jump into conclusions, but this is just my take. But anyway, now is more than 7% yield with 313 Somerset with Jam. So pretty decent. Okay. Moving on, telecom and consumer. So we have StarHub, we have Singtel. Okay, Singtel is not within the small and mid cap space, so just StarHub. So that Netlink, Trust, Sheng Siong, Thai Beverage. Okay, Thai Beverage also not really small and mid cap. Their market cap is quite big, but then they have more than 4% dividend yield. So I just reckon that I put it inside. Okay, financial services again. We have also iFast. Okay, iFast recently the results also very good, and Hong Leong Finance. Hong Leong Finance more than 5% yield. Okay, also pretty decent. Okay, the third one, Fullerton Fund Management. Okay, they haven't really share a lot of details regarding their strategy. So I went to their website to go and actually take a look. Basically, they are just looking at mid-cap stocks, focus in Singapore. They're going to launch a dedicated unit trust, okay, to invest in all these kind of Singapore stocks. So I believe in time to come, once this unit trust happen, right, I may do a video, talk about their portfolio strategy, what the companies involved and things like that. But then again, we just do educated guess. So I go for pure mid cap quality stocks. Okay, this is my guess. That what they would invest in. So I also have three different teams. One is structural growth tailwinds. So can keep on growing, undervalued, and strong balance sheets. So again, there are some names that will be repeated. Okay, so that's why later on I also share with you why it is actually coming in together. So for tailwinds, okay, the circular growth trends, we have companies like Venture Corp, UMS, iFast. Okay, they have a lot of positive developments are going forward. Okay, especially iFast, right? They are branching into the what unit, the trust business, and also the UK, as well as the Hong Kong funds, e-pension, right? But currently not doing very well, got hiccups, but still, it is. I believe that they can overcome it. Okay, then undervalued compounders, you have again the same companies like Propnex, Food Empire, balance sheets. Okay, we have CSE Global, SETS, ComfortDelGro, and all that. Okay, so then with all that being said, right now let me share with you my own investing philosophy or strategy. Okay, so I follow this famous legendary investor that he also emulate from Warren Buffett. But he has this quote from Monesh Pabrai, right? He says that heads you win, tails you don't lose much. And basically what I look at is I want the risk to be at a minimum, and then I maximize my returns thereafter. So I look at the lowering the risk first. And these are some criteria I look at. So the businesses have to trade at reasonable or cheap valuations, strong balance sheets, okay, strong financial positions to protect the downside, and clear catalysts, very visible catalysts. Like I know, 1 year from now what they're gonna do, and if it, if the investment thesis is correct, okay, what will happen, that kind of thing, and as well as management teams align with shareholders. So basically, I want to see things like insider buying, or they own a significant ownership stake in the company itself. Okay, so I do look at solid companies like this with asymmetric risk to reward. Okay, profiles that can compound over time. And now let me share with you the three conviction picks I have. Okay, and the reason behind them. So first of all, Starhub. Okay, why I decided to pick Starhub is actually, if you think about it, a lot of people have thought about telecommunications, right? Like what the asset managers are looking at. They're looking at telecom for the JP Morgan one, telecom industry plus mid cap. So which one fulfill these two criteria? Starhub. Okay. And right now, Starhub, if you take a look at their results, their net profit margin is inching up, okay, 6.8%. P ratio also pretty decent, 14 times for a consumer stock that we all know, right? And the dividend yield is more than 5%. And their dividends per share, right? Last time Starhub used to give 20 cent, 20 cent, 20 cent, and all along, they cannot have the earnings to keep up with the dividends. That's why when the earnings came down, the dividends per share also came down. But as of last year, they have sort of stabilized, and they have mandated or come up with a dividend payout policy of 80%. Okay, so this means that going forward, you can expect 80% of their profits to be given out as dividends. And on top of that, they have this Dare Plus transformation program. So what does it mean, right? The Dare Plus transformation. Next slide, I'll talk more about it. And basically, it will drive a lot of cost efficiencies and help them to go for the next tier of growth, especially on the enterprise segment, which is offsetting the legacy consumer pressures, which is like, our broadband, our mobile plan are all very cheap, all going eSIM, not eSIM, sorry, SIM only plans and that kind of thing. Okay, and the final thing is their cybersecurity business. So Ensign, right, is also maybe approaching IPO. It's already mentioned, if I'm not wrong, in one of the news articles that they're gonna IPO next year. Okay, or next lah. Okay, so just some developments that I want to share with you all as well. So the Dare Plus transformation, which is their Cloud Infinity, in layman terms, right, it is like they become from very old systems, they make it into a very cloud-based system where in which, right, they can help to do all these things like robotics lah, virtual reality for the enterprise customers. Okay, so it costs a whopping 270 million in the year and the 2 years before this. Okay, so there is only 10% left okay, 10% of cost left for this first half. Their results haven't been announced, so I believe that once this transformation is set in stone, they're gonna drive a lot of cost savings. So they will boost margins, unlock regional growth, because once they have this cloud thing, right, they can tap on the growth in the other countries around ASEAN itself. Okay, and this will naturally support the long-term dividend sustainability. All right. Again, I pull this out from their first quarter of first half. Their regional enterprise is already up 10% year on year. So managed services, their enterprise segment has a 20.2% growth. Okay, so this is backed by the strong order book that they are getting. And last but not least, right, the Ensign, which is the Ensign Info Security, their cyber security business, is a high margin, high growth business, right? And they can really become a meaningful contributor if it IPOs soon. All right, so again, a lot of analysts have also come in to say that okay, Starhub is at an inflection point whereby the multiple initiatives are starting to bear fruit. So I believe this is also maybe a turnaround story for one of the fund managers, okay, to take notice. Okay, my second conviction pick. So one of there are many REITs lah that will benefit from all this, right? When interest rate starts to come down, Donald Trump find one new Fed chair, then push down interest rates. Even so, right, if you take a look at the banks, our local banks, and as well as a lot of the savings account providers like Mary Bank from Shopee or Chocolate Finance, a lot of banks they are all lowering the interest rates, the savings interest rates, right? If you have taken notice, you park it inside all these. My wife is also asking me, hey, the interest rates are all dropping. Last time give 3%, 4%, now it's down to 2% or even 1%. What is going on? So basically, they are preempting the drop in interest rates. Singapore interest rates saw now, right, is already dropping in anticipation, maybe because of lower economic growth, or maybe US interest rates will come down and things like that. Okay, and this is also part of the value up strategy by the Avanda Asset Management. And there are a lot of REITs that will benefit, but if you were to ask me to choose, right, I actually done some research, and because I'm quite close with this elite UK REIT, I actually did a podcast with him before the CEO. Okay, and I do feel that he's very down to earth. He really goes down to UK to do all the groundwork. So I think that okay, this is worth mentioning lah. So again, let me walk you through. If you haven't heard of this elite UK REIT before, so it's the UK focused REIT. Okay, they predominantly lease to office buildings to the UK government Department for Work and Pensions on long-term leases. So layman terms, right? That means all these a lot of unemployed in UK, they will go for the UK government for handouts. So they rent a building from Elite UK REIT. So that's about it. Okay, so it's leased to the UK government, very stable. Okay, very defensive as well, AA rated, long weighted average lease to expiry. So when you have this UK government, right, they sign a lease, maybe it's 5 years or 10 years, that kind of thing. So it's very long, and it's also having the built-in inflation link rent reversion. It means every year it will step up, maybe 2 to 3%, that kind of thing. Right now, it's trading at around 9 to 10% dividend yield. All right. And the part I like best is that it is moving into this high growth student housing plus build to rent. Okay. So what do I mean by that? If you check out their recent investor presentation slides, okay, they have this particular slide that talk about how they have gotten approval for student housing asset, and this has a estimated ROI of 18%, which is very high, right? Um, their shift from purely government leased assets to high demand sectors like student housing or build to rent, residential, will sort of like increase their growth lah. Okay, and these are all very structural growth drivers. Also can help to diversify their portfolio, and especially if you take a look at all the student housing, a lot of people still like to go to UK to study, like they are one of the best universities. So with that in mind, right, it's very strong. They are in a very good position to increase rental year after year, as opposed to when you rent to the government. It's stable somewhat, but the growth is not there. Okay, so to sum up, right, again, because they are investing in UK properties, the Bank of England, so they borrow from the Bank of England. So it has already begun the rate cutting cycle. So this one we are not talking about US, we're talking about England or UK itself. So they already start to cut interest rates, and the REIT already finance a portion to more favorable terms. Means if you look at the slides, right, their interest costs are actually coming down already. Okay. Again, mentioning the optimizing of the portfolio where they shift from UK government to student housing, which will boost the growth, lah. Be it the revenue or be it the distribution down to the big investors like us. Okay, and if you're worried about FX, okay, I would say that the British pound already sort of stabilized from the very volatile mayhem, right? Last time, they exit from Europe lah, and got a lot of problem for Britain itself. But now it's showing signs of stabilization. And if you look at the UK pound to Sing dollar, I think it is somewhat stable already. Okay. And last but not least is 9% dividend yield lah. I don't believe that a lot of REITs out there can give 9% yield right now, together with very high quality tenants. On top of that, you have very visible growth potential from the student housing. So this is like three positive things meshed into one. Okay, so that's the reason why I picked this Elite UK REIT. Okay, the last pick I have, a bit controversial. Anyone have any question so far? No, okay. A bit controversial. Why Comfort Delgro? We all know, right? Their taxis are everywhere in Singapore roads, on Singapore roads. But if you take a look at their actual company profile, they are one of the largest transport companies. They don't only operate in Singapore, they operate in Australia, UK, China, and even Malaysia. Okay, and if you have taken a look at their corporate structure, you will also know that they own a stake in SBS Transit, which owns the buses, which own the MRTs, which break down often. Okay, jokes aside, maybe they will get fined or something, but eventually it's just one small part of their main business. Vicom, if you have cars, you will have tested your inspection of the cars at some of the Vicom inspection centers island wide. So they have a lot of things to do with cars or buses, and they are aggressively expanding overseas. I believe they really know that Singapore market is very saturated. Even though they went into this EV charging, called Engine, right? ENGIE. So HDB car parks, you will see a lot of this. They will put posters saying that, oh, I'm coming to install this Engine EV charging. It's actually by partnership between ComfortDelGro and another partner. The profits will come in later lah. Right now, they are also like startup costs. They have a lot of startup costs and things like that. This is just one catalyst in the next maybe 2 to 3 years. But as of now, right, if you take a look at their investment thesis, is that again strong financial position, net cash position, recovery in the taxi and public transport ridership, still growing. Dividend yield more than 4% and 12 times PE. Okay, also very stable kind of a dividend growth stock. And especially, I pluck out this chart from ComfortDelGro IR page itself. If you go to their ComfortDelGro IR investor relations page, you can see this dividend chart from 2003 all the way to 2024. So you see the dip. Okay, maybe I just highlight the things here. Okay, from sorry, this one is from it's across 10 years period. Okay, sorry, latest 10 years. So from 2015 to 2019, very high, around 10 cents dividend. Okay, reflecting strong earnings, stable business. Then when COVID happened, all the way plunged to like I think only 2 cents, 1 point something cents. But now is a very clear recovery with all the acquisitions, cash flow coming in, dividends are coming again, and they may potentially reach that 10 cents dividends again. Why not, right? I mean, they used to pay that amount, so right now it's only at 8 cents, close to 8 cents. So there are potential that it will go up again. All right, so let me sum up. Okay, fair reversions. Okay, I don't think a lot of people would like to hear this news, but when this news happen, right, a lot of people will complain. Then after that, people will forget about it because, again, fair adjustments is a yearly thing, lah. So even though it's gradual, but every time they increase 10 cent for your MRT fare or 10 cent for your bus fare, it will definitely benefit ComfortDelGro, right? Gradually lah, not saying like a sharp spike, but it is kind of a indication that when your fare increase, the earnings of the ComfortDelGro will increase, and then if you are a shareholder, your dividends will also increase, right? And there's a strategic review going on to unlock the shareholder value, but more predominantly is more of the international expansion. So they have a very strong financial position. So they are really acquiring a lot of accretive acquisitions in developed markets, especially Australia and UK. Okay, so all in all, like a classic value opportunity, cash rich, dividend paying, local champion. Avanda Asset Management, right? Local champion, trading at attractive valuation. So if you were to look at all these three high conviction picks, right, that I am watching, they actually fulfill or fit in nicely to the three asset managers that I just now mentioned. Okay, all right. So with that in mind, right? Okay, so let me share with you more case studies. Okay, so I have this membership. If you have been in my newsletter or some sort, right, you would have heard of my MVP club. Okay, and I have garnered real case studies, stock winners that have gained more than 50%, 100%. So do you want to see all these stock winners? If you want, can you type win in the chat box? Okay, I will show you the case studies that they have really went up more than 100%. Yeah, can you type in win inside the chat box? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Malcolm and Esther. Right. So now let me share with you. Wow, we have 30 people here today, more than I expected. Thank you very much for joining. Okay, so again, I pull these charts from my membership, the portal, okay, which I've been managing for the last 6 years already. All right. First one, okay, ISO team. If you haven't heard of it before, it means you haven't been on the ground looking at all these A&A means the uh, what you call that alteration, or the R&I is what, restore and rejuvenation, or something like that. Okay, so basically they work very closely to get government contracts, and they will do all these facade installations, the playgrounds near the neighborhood, the all the facilities are done by them. Okay, and we actually went in December 2023. I think it's around 4 cents that we go in. So right now we have more than 85% return. Okay, I pull this chart as of yesterday. Okay, 8 August. So it's right now at 10 cents, and we have already made 85% for my members itself. Okay, if you take a look at the company itself, it is a leading provider of building maintenance and estate upgrading services in Singapore. So basically, all the HDB that require maintenance or upgrading, they are the ones who will come in, and they have a very big market share in Singapore. Okay, local champion again. record order book turnaround in profitability, and yeah, so it has went up quite a bit lah, in recent 1 to 2 years. Okay, the next case study. This one is, I believe, a lot of us would have heard of it. SETS Group. If you go army, the cookhouse is under them. Okay, SETS Group. They always prepare the food for our army soldiers. So just nice. SG60. I want to talk about them also. And on top of that, they have already branched out into aviation meal catering. So all the meals that, when you travel on the airplane and you order the meal from either SIA or you just order on board the aircraft, is all prepared by them, okay, by the SETS Group. And recently, they also acquired this WFS, right? So WFS is a very big player in the cargo handling. So they are also moving into the cargo handling, and it's not like just pulling those crates that we always imagine, right? That, oh, cargo just that means a lot of e-commerce boxes then you just pull. In fact, it's more than that. So there are things like, pharmaceutical, life science industry. You need to transport those kind of maybe vaccines or whatever in below zero kind of environment, special handling, all these they can do. Okay, and this one will give a lot of high margin revenue streams to the company itself. Again, we got in last year, 2024 April, okay, around $2.50. Okay, this is the part where not a lot of analysts have already covered. So we Okay, I've even though without the analyst reports, I really look at different things from the results announcement. I look at their IR page. I look at their social media and see what the company is actually doing. And I myself are vested in SETS Group right now. So when I take a look, I'm confident in the stock. So I will do a buy alert for my membership. All right, and with that in mind, they have already gone up 24%. Not too shabby, right? If you compare to a lot of stocks that have gone stagnant. But if you compare it to last year itself, the SETS Group actually went up all the way to $3.80 and come down slightly. Now it's around maybe $3.30, $3.20. So maybe a bargain for you guys. Okay, so again, operations at over 60 airports, more than 14 countries. All right, so I believe you all have already taken a look at this kind of picture before, so I'm not going to cover it. Okay, winner number three, Futu. Futu Holdings is actually the company called Mumu. Okay, how many of y'all have a Mumu account? Can you type Mumu inside the chat box? I want to just take a look to see. How many of y'all have a Mumu account? Just type in Mumu, Moomoo, inside the chat box. I want to just take a look. Okay, Malcolm has a Mumu account. All right, anyone has a Mumu account? Okay, Mitra also has. Okay, oh, Christine also has. All right. You know why I asked this question? Because if you take a look at the recent Move Fairs, they will always announce that, oh, we have how many users in Singapore, and they mentioned that 1 out of 2 users are actually one out of 2 like investors are actually Mumu users. Yeah, thank you, Malcolm, for sharing. Yeah, they are very aggressive with their marketing, especially when they first came into Singapore, right? They are like so-called the first mover. They give a lot of benefits and all that. So again, I mentioned it to my memberships subscribers. So I told them, oh, okay, Momo is trading quite decently back then. Then they are going into a lot of different countries. So from there on, they went up 155%. No joke, I really have this kind of case studies that I issue inside the membership portal itself. I will just broadcast through email and tell my members. So if they have vested, right, they have made 155%, inclusive of the 3% dividends. Okay, and the reason why I went into Futu myself also is because I am a investor as well as user in Momo. And if you really follow closely, they venture not inside just Singapore. On top of that, they expanded into Malaysia, Japan. I think going forward also Australia and things like that. Okay, many different countries. They are very aggressive, like what Malcolm has shared. Their business model also very high margin. So basically, their cost is only to grab us as users. So once we are inside their ecosystem, once we are a user, imagine you buy 20 stocks already. You wouldn't want to transfer all the different 20 stocks to another user, like another brokerage like Tiger or Weibo again, right? Because it's such troublesome work. Either you sell and you buy again, or you have to do a transfer, which you will incur, like, if I'm not wrong, right, they will charge $50 per stock itself. So no point, right? You will just keep on using. And on top of that, Momo is expanding into many different asset classes. If you take a look, every time they have new notifications, they'll say, "Oh, you can start trading Bitcoin, like crypto. Oh, we have this ETF launch, unit trust launch. You can tap into this unit trust." So they are working with a lot of different partners as well to come up with a lot of asset classes. So going forward, I mean, if you take a look, they are really comparing Momo with those kind of IFAs or even our traditional banks, right? When they have different asset classes, Momo is also going that route. So I do believe that because they are digital first, they just focus on having this mobile app. They have more margin, more cash flow, and then they can pump it more into the expansion of the businesses. Okay, so again, right, this is just one observation for Momo itself. The community, if you have gone to their community, it's much more vibrant as compared to the other, uh, low cost brokerages or even traditional brokerages. That is the reason why I decided to also invested in Momo itself. Okay, so I just want to share this last winner, okay, called Oil Tech, because they have a 852% returns. Okay, so no joke. Last year itself, I mentioned it to my membership portal. I told my subscribers, okay, there's this very interesting stock called Oil Tech. It's a asset like the oil refinery. Okay, so basically they provide those services. It's a spun off from another company, and I didn't expect it to go up 852%. Okay, this is the way it is, right? Sometimes when you go for this hidden gems that nobody is looking at, and you maybe just put in a small amount of money, like maybe even 2,000, 3,000, and they can just go up 8 times. So if you pump in, like, say, 5,000, 5,000 go up 8 times is already 40,000. And this is a real case study inside my membership platform itself. Okay, so it has already beat the STI index by way a lot of times already. Again, this is the thesis that I have shared with my members. Okay, asset like oil processing, so-called refinery, high margin model. They have economic mode in doing all this, right? So expanding margins and resilient demand. A lot of people go to them and build these kind of projects for them. Okay, so without further ado, okay, so I've mentioned a lot of case studies, and I'm really very eager for you all to join MVP Club as well, because I feel that this is once in a lifetime with MES coming in, all this support, 5 billion support. And I'm not just trying to earn money here. I mean, earning money is just one part of it, lah. But I also want to get more members in, then we can build the community together. We can, be in the early stages of the Singapore bull market. Right now, it's just baby bull. There are a lot more other Singapore stocks that a lot of people have missed out on. So again, right, throughout the years of me doing this MVP club, I would say that not everyone is suitable. Some people, they just like to go for dividend stocks. They're okay with maybe just 5 to 6% return kind of passive income. I don't fault them. Everyone has their own investing style and things like that. But I would say that if you are willing to just park maybe 5,000 spare cash for investing in this kind of small and mid cap space, right? You're able to take advantage of the upcoming catalyst by MES. All right. And you can also take action to find winning stocks. And I've beaten the market lah. Every year in my membership, I've beaten the STI market every year. So later on, maybe I'll just share my screen, how much returns we actually got. So this is, and I've managed the portfolio for 6 years already, since 2019. It went down in during COVID, but as we start to also just invest in hidden gems and things like that, right? It went up fantastically, more than 3 times. Okay, since we started in 2019. Okay, so not suitable for everyone, but if you want, okay, you must be someone who are willing to invest in Singapore stocks, find and take action lah. That means don't just take what I have given you as fluff lah. You must also be willing to take the action. More than 5,000 to invest in this segment. Why? I have made more than 10%. It's actually, I think, 17 or to 19% annual returns yearly, okay, compounded. And if you have vested 5,000, just 5,000 in this small cap space, right, together with me, lah, that means you are enrolled in this MVP club, you are enrolled together with me, you invest together with me, $5,000, you just make 10% returns, $500, you would already more than cover the membership fee, okay, which I will share later. And again, you know that you must understand that it takes time to get more than 100% returns. Okay, so like what Warren Buffett said, no matter how great the talent or effort, something just take time. You can't produce a baby in 1 month by getting 9 women pregnant. But imagine I just tell you, oil tech, just invest 1 year, you get 800% returns, right? So it's just one single stock can change your life already. Okay, and if you are keen in this membership MVP club, okay, you can scan this QR code, or you can just type in the URL tinyurl.com/MVP club 60. Okay, I have really cut down the membership price for this time round because it's SG60. I want everyone to take advantage. So if it's a yearly plan, it is 60% off, so 198.80 cents. Okay, it's just less than $4 per week lah. If you have 5,000, you invest 5,000 every year, you more than cover this membership fee already. Okay, just 5,000 is all it takes. I believe a lot of people, when I see Reddit, a lot of people have 100,000, 150,000, and they talk about, hey, how do I invest? And you park it to things like fixed deposits, which is okay. I'm not saying that it is bad or anything. You get a very, like low risk, low return, okay, a kind of a strategy. But then just pluck out, a small portion. You don't have to allocate small cap stocks to entire portfolio. Just maybe cater 5 to 10%, plug in 5,000 to this kind of small cap stocks. And if you like, then after you have tried it out for 1 year, 2 years, you are more confident, you can go for it again. Maybe reallocate a bigger percentage to the portfolio to small and mid cap stocks. And again, just to take advantage of the MES 5 billion support lah. All right. And if you want a lifetime access, I have also this lifetime access. So $600, okay, at SG60. I cannot give you all $60, sorry. So $600, okay, it is like $397 off one-time payment. Again, this is already below what some of my members have paid, again in conjunction with the SG60 lah. I'm not going to launch this again until maybe next year. Okay, so is this is the final launch. If you are interested, you can scan this QR code to sign up, or if you have any questions, you can type it inside the chat box lah. I can answer your questions. Okay, so let me move on to the last slide. Okay, and I just want to share with you, if you sign up today, I can give you this mega pack of analyst reports. So what does it entail? Wall Street Bank's second half 2025 outlook reports. So you can see from here, I have all these foreign banks, big established foreign banks like BlackRock, Deutsche Bank, Goldman Sachs. Okay, they have all these reports. You're gonna get it once you sign up today. Our Southeast Asia, okay, ASEAN brokers like CGS, UBK Hien, Maybank, their coverage of the MES initiative beneficiaries. So the stocks that will benefit from MES support. And this webinar's PowerPoint deck just for you. Okay, so I'm gonna save this and upload to the Google Drive. And if you sign up today, you can access all these reports for free. All right. So again, you can claim this SG60 promotion. There's no replay for today's session. All right. I will send this link, this Google Drive link to you via email upon your payment. Okay. So now I'm ready to take questions. If you have questions regarding this membership or any questions, you can type it inside the chat box and I can try to answer your questions. Okay, again, sign up by scanning this QR code or typing this QR code in the thing itself. Right, let me just paste it over here. Hi, Johnson. Okay, you can actually contact me via investkaki.com, investkaki@gmail.com. Yeah, I would take a look at the email and get back to you ASAP. Okay, Harry, thank you. Yes. Okay, what exactly is this program, right? Maybe let me share this thing. Let me share with you. Let me share my thing itself. Okay, can you see my screen from this share site portfolio? If you can see, can you type yes in the chat box so I know that you all can see? Okay, thank you. So again, this is the membership, okay, or rather the model portfolio. Sorry, the model portfolio I've been running since 2019. I just changed the format because last time I used the tool from Investing Note. So I decided to go to this share site because they allow me to do a lot more, exporting of reports and things like that. So I can generate different reports to send to all my members inside the membership platform. Okay. Okay. Let me share the thing again. Maybe I just share my window. Okay, okay, give me some time. All right, okay, going back. This is the model portfolio that I will be running. And you can see that we have made it to $319,000. This is our current model portfolio value. We started off at $100,000 in 2019. Okay, and right now we are sitting at $319,000. All right, so if you were to do a quick calculation, so 100,000, 319,000. Okay, 2019 I started, now is 2025. So give it a 6 years. We are doing a 21% compounded annual growth rate. Okay, and how this membership platform works is that once you are enrolled, you can join this MVP Club.group.app. This is a membership platform. We have different channels which will talk about the discussion, the portfolio updates. Okay, so I will do a like buying alerts for the model portfolio and things like that. Okay, so when I did this 10 days ago, we are standing at 308,000. Right now, already 319,000. Okay, so we have this performance report. I mentioned why we are shifting focus to SGX stocks. Okay, and we have sell alerts, we have buying alerts. Okay, so maybe I just share with you one of the buying alerts is this Namchong, okay, that I shared in the membership platform itself. All right, so we have different trade alerts, we have treasure vault where we pack in all the different reports from different brokers as well as US stocks. Sometimes we have, because I sign up to a lot of memberships, be it the Motley Fool US or maybe Seeking Alpha and things like that. So I will share the reports on and off inside this treasure vault. Okay, so you can. We also have very regular updates of all this. Okay, like the one of the stocks that are inside our model portfolio, like CSE Global, have announced new orders and things like that. On top of that, we have this Telegram group, okay, where you have any questions or anything, you can just share. Okay, like for example, we have this member called Sunny. He's very active in the group. Okay, he will talk about anything under the sun. He talk about Figma IPO, then I share my thoughts and things like that. All right, so if you join even for the yearly plan, I'm giving away lifetime access to this member MVP club Telegram access. Okay, so once you join, as a Telegram group chat, you can just talk anything under the sun, and we can chit chat together and form a community lah. The most important thing is we form a community, then we just share our thoughts about all these Singapore stocks and stuff like that. Okay, so in a nutshell, okay, what is this program about? Okay, so I've shared this thing. We have this model portfolio showcase, which I've already made it go from 100,000 to $319,000, 300% growth lah. Okay, basically 300% growth. You have real-time buy and sell alerts for our model portfolio. So anytime I want to buy stocks for our model portfolio, I will announce it in the membership platform. So you can follow suit. If you don't have time to monitor the market, you will just receive an email. Okay, then you can see whether you want to buy or sell the stocks according to my trade alerts. Third thing is the resource hub, which you have seen, the treasure vault. So on and off, like every time I have new reports, I will put it inside. Then you can just take a look to see all these different reports, be it those kind of like maybe even industrial reports or like robotics or AI, some sort like a very comprehensive industrial reports, we can put it in. Okay, private Telegram group, which I have shared with you just now, you can just ask questions lah. Maybe you are vested in certain stocks, you want some advice or things like that. You can share, or even maybe new developments or new exciting things. Like for example, the upcoming design format IPO. I actually did a post regarding this stock. Okay, it's going IPO. Although there's no public offer, there's because they have really a lot of high net worth or asset managers. They are buying stakes in design format. I actually spoke to the sponsor. I spoke to the. I attended the webinar. Spoken to the IR company regarding design format. So these are the things. Um, we won't really share lah in public, right? But we can share in the private Telegram group. Say, oh, I met this upcoming IPO. So what is my take on it and things like that. Okay, so you can join this private Telegram group. Again, lifetime access. Once you join, I will just let you all join for free for life. Okay, and last but not least, ongoing coverage of stocks, which is managed by my partner Augustine. So he look at the stocks that are inside our model portfolio. Every time they announce earnings, they announce some new developments, we will share it in the membership platform or the Telegram group as well. Okay, so this is what you will get for the membership platform. A lot of things. Right now, just 60% off at $198. I think it is a very good deal. 198, I think one staycation is already it's already lesser than one staycation in Singapore. And if you have this money, like $5,000, you throw inside the small cap space, you would make more than enough to cover this cost already. Okay, so with that said, I will just leave the QR code here. If you are interested, you can scan. And if you have any questions, I'll be here for the next 5 minutes. Okay, you can type it inside the chat box. I will answer your questions. If not, I think this is the end of the webinar. Thank you everyone for joining me on this Saturday morning. Yeah, happy National Day again to everyone. Happy National Day SG60. Okay, for our country as well. Okay, yeah, I will just leave the QR code here for 5 minutes, and I'll be here to answer anything that y'all have. All right, let me just change the share screen to the tab itself. Okay, yeah, let me drink a sip of water. Okay, Mitra has this question. Do you have online monthly or quarterly meeting? Currently, we don't, because I think even when I do the monthly online meeting, right, sometimes because not a lot of people can make it together lah. So when I done it last time, kind of like a bit not worth it. Only a few people, less than 10, turn up. Because if you do regularly, then it's also like I have to manage lah the time taken and the effort, and things like that. But going forward, I will be paying more attention. I will do YouTube videos lah, and share it. I've done a few YouTube videos to share it inside the membership platform on and off. So I think this will be the format lah, going forward. Whenever there are new developments, so maybe after this 1.1 billion, maybe the next 3.9 billion MES, once they announce anything, I will do a YouTube video just for the members itself. So I will share it inside the membership platform. Okay. For Joe, can we see the stocks inside the model portfolio? And the entry price, yes, I would share everything inside the model portfolio. We have right now, I think, close to 20 stocks inside the model portfolio. And I have actually published a best buy, six best buys in July itself, last month, for the, because a lot of stocks have already went up, like for example, oil tech went up 8 times. So it may not be, even though we are holding the stock, it may not be like a best buy right now. So I actually announced six of them in the last month itself in the report, and I share it in the membership platform also. Okay, and you can see the entry price lah. Or if not, I will say, when I want to purchase this stock, maybe in the next day and things like that. Then you can just make your own price target lah. Hi Frank, sorry, no replay. This is the Zoom itself. If you sign up using the QR code, I can send this entire deck to you just for today if you sign up. Okay, how many members are there right now? Last time, okay, if you see from the Telegram group, right, I think we have more than 60 people because I'm not really actively pushing this membership. Sometimes I just launch it once a year, and I think across the years, because Singapore market is, to be honest lah, to be frank, right, Singapore market has been down for very long, and a lot of members, once they sign up for 1 year, 2 year, they sort of like unsubscribe because people don't see the value in small and mid cap stocks. Even though the model portfolio has been going up, I've been sharing. Like Marco Polo Marine is one of the stocks that are inside our portfolio as well. Um, just some people. That's why I mentioned, right. If you take a look, who is suitable? It's not suitable for everyone because everyone risk appetite and also maybe their investment strategy is different. Some people are just comfortable going for dividend stocks. You go for DBS, you also make money, right? You also get dividend, stable dividend yield. So this is not suitable for everyone in the past 5 years. But now with MES support, I do think that everyone should maybe just reallocate a small portion inside this small and mid cap space. Yeah. So again, I'll be very frank. We have more than 60 people who have signed up across the years. So maybe now, right now, members in the community, maybe 30, close to around 30. Esther, a very good question. So what is the difference between MVP Club and the Invest Kaki, right? The program, Super Kakis lah. Actually, it's called Super Kakis. The difference is that MVP is focused predominantly in Singapore stocks. Although I mentioned about like Momo, right, Food Tool Holdings, MVP Club is more focused on value stocks, because I do see a lot of value stocks or hidden gems in Singapore, which I want to uncover, and so it's more Singapore focused. Invest Kaki, that premium membership is more US focused, which I also just launched, I think last year or this year. Again, it's focused more on US stocks, high growth companies like maybe Google, Reddit or things like that. So very very different lah. The stocks that I'm talking about will also be very different. For myself, I have my own portfolio, personal portfolio. I have half invested in Singapore stocks, half in US stocks. It is how I chose to allocate my portfolio, because I feel that along the way, I also want to just go for US quality stocks that I don't need to do much research, even though my inclination is more towards Singapore value stocks. But then again, it really takes a vibrant Singapore market to have me come back into the Singapore market and do this webinar and also talk about, hey, Singapore market is up again, all-time high for Singapore Straits Times Index. Like, last 5 6 years, it's really been on a like downtrend. Even if you talk to my friends, they are all very disheartened. I also very disheartened, talking about, wow, always got a lot of delistings, no IPOs in Singapore market. What's going on? So a lot of people already go to US stocks. So I also, start to pivot there. But then again, then now, just nice, Singapore market starts to kick in, and I already start the ball rolling by investing in a lot of Singapore stocks. So this is a true baby bull that I really very excited to share to a lot of people lah. Yeah. Thank you, Joe. Yeah. So like one of my stocks, right? I invested in Sim Leisure. Okay, maybe just share, since we have still quite a few people here, right? Who haven't logged off. Maybe I just share screen. So I've finished my webinar. If y'all have any other plans, y'all can go off. I'll just end off by talking about this Sim Leisure. Okay, that a stock that I've vested in for a long time. All right, so hidden gem as well. If you know, sorry, let me drink a sip of water. Okay, so this Sim Leisure is listed in Singapore itself. They have managed all these escape theme parks in Malaysia, but 2 years ago they took. They're very smart. The founder is very smart. So Kidzania is not really well run by the Malaysia government. There's this Kazania or whatever lah. So basically, they took control. It is in a lot of debt, and they purchased it. They took on the debt, but they purchased it for a very, very low price. I think below 100,000, if I'm not wrong. And they take over this Kidzania, Singapore, and KL. And since then, if you take a look at Kidzania Singapore, their ticket prices are crazy, man. Kidzania Crook, right? You see the ticket prices, $58 for kids. I think for parents also. Yeah, for child only is 60. If you're adult, maybe a bundle is 120. Okay, or things like that lah. So basically, it's more than $100 for a pair to go in. So what will this happen? Go to the company lah, then the profits will go out, right? So even before they are taking control of Kidzania Singapore, I've already went in, and Kidzania share price have already shot up, right? Kidsim Leisure, Google Finance. Okay, why like that? Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Sim Leisure. Okay, you can see that right now it's trading at 65 cents. But when I went in, right, I went in at around only 20 something cents. Yeah, so back then, it went up all the way to $1. I've always been talking about this stock for the longest time. It's just that nobody is interested, right? So, yeah, again, it has corrected by quite a bit, and I do see that there's still potential lah. And this is one stock that is in our model portfolio. I've been highlighting this again for quite many years already lah. And again, this is just one of the stocks that I have been advocating or sharing with a lot of people in our model portfolio. So if you are interested, I mean, you can just go sign up. Okay, if you can just go to this smallcapasia.com modern dash value dot dash program. Just click enroll now and go sign up here lah. Okay, if you are interested. All right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, so I will end this webinar here. Okay, last question. Esther, yes, MVP, we concentrate on small and mid cap stocks. Just nice in conjunction, right? In accordance with the three asset managers. Again, you can see, right? Let me just, oh, sorry. By the way, I'm using this AI tool called Gamma to create the slides. So it's very fast. If you are interested, you can also go for it. Okay, what is it again? Okay. Again, why is just nice like what I've maybe been focusing on because of all these asset managers, more small and mid cap space. You see, JP Morgan also small and mid cap space, Fullerton mid cap space. Yeah, so this will be my focus. Yeah, and I believe it will tie in very well lah. Basically, from what I've always been doing together with MES support and all these asset managers. So if you join me, then you will be at the time to really get started together with all these fund managers. Okay, thank you everyone. I will end here. Thank you all. Have a happy weekend and happy National Day. Hope you all enjoy yourself as well. Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.